Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Stellar Lumens and XLM. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So today we're actually going to be talking about if XLM holding it will make you rich going forward. First off, I will address the fact that a lot of people have been asking me, why does XLM and XRP basically follow each other very closely? I've addressed this in the past, but basically my perspective on it is just the idea that at one point in time XLM was a fork of XRP, so I do think that they're kind of close knitted together in terms of price action. So that's my perspective on it, at least. But they are also going after very similar markets. To me, XRP has always been like the banker's coin, and XLM has more been like for individuals and people. But that is just like my viewpoint on it. But I will say this. I have been definitely watching XLM closely because I think that we are near our ape zone on it, and I do think that we will most likely see it. So let's actually dive in and let's talk about this. So first off, I just want to really kind of talk to you guys a little bit about investable amounts, amounts of XLM and profit at my target point. So to me, it all depends on what you personally, look at in terms of being rich off of XLM. And it also goes into the idea of how long have you been accumulating, at what ranges are you accumulating. For me personally, I'm just going off of the price target that we have now, aka almost 11.5 cents. This is basically the amounts that I would have to invest in at about 11.5 cents to get this amount of XLM to profit at this range that I am targeting. Now, I think when we really kind of look at this, a lot of individuals are kind of, intimidated by the amount that they would have to invest to make this amount. I just want you guys to understand that, things can change rapidly, and I don't believe that we have seen our bottoming yet on a lot of these assets. We're actually going to be talking about why in this video, and also how these amounts actually change drastically if we do see our official bottoming point. So let's dive in and let's talk about it. So first off, predicting bottoms is extremely unrealistic. It's also, extremely unrealistic to buy the exact bottom. For an example, back in March of 2020, nobody really bought the exact bottom at that point in time. But I will say this, as we really kind of look back at that time, XLM did a 97% drop from its highs back in 2017 and 2018. Was this the official bear market bottom? No, absolutely not. The reason why I actually bring this up, though, is because right now on XLM, we have only seen roughly about 87% of a dropping point, which I think is not enough pain. I actually look at this and I think that we will most likely see a bottoming point of roughly the September lows, or possibly even a little bit deeper, and we might actually come down to test this range back here in December of 2019, which in my opinion was the actual bear market bottom from 2017 and 2018's bull market, which was about 95.48%. This would actually bring us down to about 94.64% of a drop from our recent high. I think that this is, probable. Do I think that this is going to fully happen? It's hard to say, and honestly, it is a little bit unrealistic to actually just test this exact range. I am going to be starting to ape into XLM around this range up here, which is almost like the summer of 2020 zone. It's more so like September of 2020. I think that this is a safe bet. It's 6.5 cents, almost 6.6 if you will, in terms of the cent range. And this would be roughly a 91.63% drop, which is, right around the 90% dropping area. And I'm not going to, try to, catch the exact bottom by, waiting for an additional 4% or anything like that. If we do see this range, it is an instant ape zone for me personally. But also, kind of comparing and contrasting on why I don't believe that we've seen our bottoming point right now. Currently from our all-time high back here, to our level now, yeah, technically we would have already seen the bottoming range if we are comparing it to something like Ethereum. But I don't believe that we've seen our bottoming range, just simply because XLM actually didn't really have an all-time high, and it really didn't have a major bull run similar to other altcoins. But if we are actually going to be following the same structure view from 2017, 2018 on Ethereum, for an example, our bottoming range would actually be around October of 2022, which is actually kind of perfect if you think about it. When you actually compare it to other bottoming ranges, for an example, Ethereum didn't bottom out until 2018. of December, which is like right around like the fall winter time frame. So that's what I'm really kind of eyeing right now for our bottoming range on altcoins. So like roughly the October time frame right now, which technically speaking, even off of our range now to October of 2022, you're looking at like an additional 100 days of just kind of sideways momentum and downtrend. And I'm not going to try to catch the exact bottom. I'm just thinking like we could see a little bit more pain. Right now, like for an example, we have Ethereum's bottoming range back here. For an example, it's like 94.44% of a drop in range. Right now, off of the bottoms that we recently just seen, it's only 81%, which to me is just not enough pain on Ethereum. And just to be completely accurate, there you guys have it. It's almost like 82. If we do see like max pain on Ethereum, just to give you guys a little bit of a quick insight, 94% almost would bring us right back down to the August of 2020 lows. This is like a major demand area, and I could actually foresee this being, you know, the bottom point for Ethereum, which would be almost $300. And a lot of people will scream like that's ridiculous, but hey, that's what I'm actually kind of looking at and seeing. And this would also bring like Bitcoin down to like roughly like $11,000 or so. But this is why I say, like, you know, don't just rush it. Don't just like rush into buy every single drop in price, because again, we could see lower. For an example, I'm sure that a lot of people really kind of bought this back in July of 2021. We didn't really see that much gains off of XLM. And then like, you know, once we dropped down here, a lot of people were probably buying a little bit of a spike, and then, you know, again, more downtrend, which we're basically seeing now. Like we're having this slight spike. I think that our downtrend will most likely end around this range, but we're going to be talking about why this is actually going to be a perfect opportunity to really kind of look at XLM. So in terms of this area, it would be about 6.5 cents. Let's just say like you don't get the exact bottom, maybe like you're buying at like 7 to 8 cents, which is totally fine. I'm actually looking at some nice high figures. For an example, the high figure would be about $3.71. The target point for me is, you know, a little bit before that fib level at around like $3. You could also be like, you know, taking profits from like anywhere above the all-time high of 2017, 2018, which is, you know, 93 cents. That's totally fine as well, just to kind of preserve capital. In my opinion, always take your initial investment out first before even letting it ride. That way you basically have no risk. The rest of the money that is there is just all profits. But let's see how these, you know, figures drastically change, and let's see how, you know, it really kind of accounts to massive wealth. So for me personally, like, I will start accumulating once we do break down below like 10 cents heavily. So like around like the 9-cent zone is where I start to really kind of allow for a lot more capital to be flowing into XLM, just because I think that the upside potential from there is like pretty large. I have been really kind of eyeing like this level back here as well, like from like February of 2019 to be, you know, a nice level to really kind of look at as well, which is like 7 cents, which is why I said like, you know, around like 7 to 8 cents is something where I would actually really kind of look at as like as a major, you know, accumulation zone. But this would be about a 54, almost a 57 or a 55 X opportunity move to about like this $3.70 zone. But let's actually really kind of readdress this. So off of like the $1,000, you know, investable amount, sorry, it would change drastically if you're looking at like roughly the 7.5 cent zone, for an example. Because instead of, you know, 8,695 XLM, you would get roughly about 13,333 XLM. The same kind of goes for like even the $5,000 level, which, by the way, I wouldn't be investing these total amounts exactly at one level. These are like averaging in to get to that range in terms of like $5,000 invested in. But we'll just say, you know, instead of like 43,000, it would be like 66,000. And the same goes for like even 10,000 as well. Like you're looking at like 133,000, and then of course $20,000, which I mean a lot of individuals basically don't have that. You're looking at almost an additional 100,000 on top of this at around 266,000 XLM. But in regards to my sell targets, like, are you going to get absolutely rich off of XLM? Not unless you have a lot of starting capital. And the reason why I say that is because, again, you know, although this is a 54x, almost a 55x opportunity, to really kind of wait this out to get to this point, you are going to miss a lot of pumps as well along the way. Remember, XLM and XRP are usually the last to run. Now, why do I think XLM might actually run to roughly $3.71? Well, first off, in terms of tokenomics, I do think that XLM compared to even XRP, it does have better tokenomics as about 50% less supply than XRP. And we do remember that XRP did run to about $3.84 during 2017 and 2018 off of basically no partnerships or no major news. Again, at that time, there wasn't like a ton of news around XRP or a ton of like, hype articles or anything like that. But now we have like clear partnerships. We have a lot of like utilization of XRP as a token. So me personally, like as we do see like, for example, the SEC lawsuit inception come in, I think that will actually allow for XLM to follow XRP closely, while XRP does start to like make some major moves, which will allow to have XLM kind of move as well. But also XLM has been building out some major partnerships, for an example with like MoneyGram, which could allow it to hit these price figures. And remember, XRP already hit these price figures during 2017, 2018. So to have XLM, hit these nice levels, it's not too unrealistic. But if you do want to play a little bit more conservative, you could, sell at around roughly $3 or even earlier. It's all up to you on your exit plan personally. But when we really kind of look at this, I do think that if you have enough capital, down here is where you will basically make a large amount of gains. Remember, 50, X opportunities are something to not disregard. I mean, if you think about it, $1,000 in at a 50x opportunity is $50,000, and you basically profit at $49,000. And the same goes for like even $10,000 in, you're looking at a $500,000 opportunity off of just $10,000, which is, again, I know that $10,000 is not easy to come by, but it is, life-changing if you can invest it right. Again, would I be, investing $10,000 into just one asset? Not really. I would be diversifying 100%. But I do think that XLM, it's going to give us a long time to accumulate. It's going to give us a roughly, 100-day time frame to accumulate. It's also going to give us some time to sit in cash a little bit while we just accumulate hard cash to actually buy at the bottom level. Again, I do think that averaging in is your best friend. We are down roughly currently on this nice bottom that we just recently put in, 87% at our current level. It's even still like, 85%. But I don't think that we've seen max pain just yet on a lot of these altcoins. Yes, I do know that this is frustrating to see, but like even for an example, like Ethereum, Ethereum is only down, and I say like only, but it is a significant down range of like 82%. So I am watching this market closely to see if we do get some more max capitulation down to these levels. I think that with the Fed talking, things could move drastically. Again, yes, I am recording this a little bit ahead of time. But if I do, if I was to say like if XLM could make you a millionaire, it all depends on your investable amount. I would say like these bottom areas are going to be your best friend, because it is going to, you're going to need a large amount of, money to make it to like $1 million off of XLM around like the 2022 to like 2023 timeframe. And that is depending on if we do have that massive wave 5 in 2023. It all depends on like where the market sentiment is around that range. To me personally, like if we are talking about, back in like March of 2020, to like even now, it doesn't take too long for like the bottom range to like fully fill out, and then we have that major move up. Remember, like even Ethereum off of this bottom range, like yeah, it did take us roughly 336 days, but the price moves after that was pretty nice. And even like this max capitulation area, we didn't even retest those areas just exact. We missed it by slightly a little bit, but you could see like on the macro view how great this was from a perspective on like accumulating this range and then reaccumulating here. So again, in regards to XLM, will it make you extremely rich? Will it make you, wealthy this bull run that's coming up? To me personally, it all depends on the amount that you're investing, and it is a large amount that you do have to invest. So I would say, look for other like extremely undervalued opportunities. Obviously, yes, you could accumulate a XLM because the gains are still there in terms of like a 50x opportunity. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, after you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.